So let's continue. So we continue with, we started a new chapter. Somebody is following it, chapter number 18, page 139. And the topic is, we actually also discussed like parts of it in respect of Shabbos, but we will see it's very similar. Topic, Melachahs pertaining to living creatures. Okay, so, okay. Three of Avos Melachas that are forbidden on Shabbos: tzad, right, trapping, shochet, slaughtering, and mashchit, skinning. Mafshit, right. Since in our society this melacha applied to limited circumstance, we will focus here on their practical aspects and on the differences existing regarding between Shabbos and Yom Tov. A fuller treatment of this melachas, see the Shabbos Home Volume 2. So let's quickly review it, and we're going to add some information. Okay, so there are three. So altogether we have 39 melachas. 3 out of them have to do with living creatures, so which is what trapping. So we're not allowed to trap. So meaning, as we said, like what will be practical? Who will we trap? Well, a fly. There is a fly, annoying, so you cannot overturn the cup, right? To trap it, or even some small animals like cats, right? So if you're going to close your cat in a room and it feels trapped, it starts like become nervous, so you're not allowed to do that, or something like that, right? You have to be careful feeding the birds. So some people have birds, right? So you're not allowed to take the bird out, like maybe some people do. The way I understand that some people explain who have birds, they let it out to fly around the room, and then they put the food into the cage, and the bird knows to return to the cage. So it's okay, so no problem. That's fine. But the problem would be on Shabbos and Yom Tov to do that. Right, because you trap the bird in this cage, and that's the issue. So no exercise for the bird. No, 1 day a week, no problem. Okay, so that's trapping. Next one is slaughtering. So slaughter, not only, of course, slaughter, when we say slaughter a cow or something, right? But slaughter meaning killing in any way. So all of the insects, right? For example, not only flies, like any like insects, we're not allowed to kill. Of course, if there's a life danger, right, some mosquito that carried some deadly disease, and you have a little baby, and his life is in danger, in this case, yes, you're allowed to kill. But otherwise, even mosquitoes, we're not allowed to kill, right, on Shabbos and Yom Tov. And next one is skinning. What is this skinning? How is it applicable? Like practical example? I don't have any practical example like how today we would use skinning. I'm not sure. So let's leave it. Okay. So all right. So let's go. So that's overview, but we go into the applicability for Yom Tov. Part number 1: trapping. Trapping living creatures is completely forbidden on Yom Tov and Shabbos. Even trapping the animals or fish for the sake of killing or eating on Yom Tov is forbidden. So even though we're allowed to do shchita on Yom Tov, right? So, but what do you do shchita on? You do, for example, the cow. Cow, you don't have to trap, right? Because it's always in a state of captivity. It's captured. So captured meaning in the double quotes, captured meaning that it's not running away from. Maybe chicken is not so friendly and it's going to run away. So yes, but right. So there is no problem with trapping with a cow, for example, as and with other animals like right, with some other animals as well. As explained at length in chapter 2, the dispensation of Chol Nefesh does not apply to this Melachah. Okay, so trapping not allowed. Even so, the trapping would be to catch a deer and do a shechita, right? So the only way, I mean, maybe there are other ways, but the way I understand how they would do catch the deer is the nets, right? So they throw a net over it and that's it. So it's not an easy thing to do to catch a deer. Okay. Continue. The Melachah of trapping applies to all types of living creatures. So even though you're allowed to do shechita, right? But yeah, you're not allowed to do trapping. For example, for fish, you don't need to do shechita, right? So fish is if it died by itself, right? So there is no problem whatsoever. I mean, of course, we don't need fresh fish, right? I mean, live fish, but that's what I do. Okay. So, but you're not allowed to trap the fish. Okay. Okay, continue. The Melachah of trapping applies to all types of living creatures, animals, birds, fish, and insects. And same, I guess, if somebody have aquarium something, so you're not allowed to take to trap this fish and to take from one aquarium to another, right? So it would not be allowed. Birds, we explained. Under biblical law, this trapping, the prohibition applies only to creatures that are commonly trapped for the certain benefit, right? For example, furry, or edible animals, right? For a fur, meaning all of this, I don't know, these foxes, or I don't know, whatever they use for a fur, edible animals. So I guess birds. If they know that the birds is kosher, and deer, I think. Fowl, okay, fowl, here's birds and fish. Okay, so all of these things. So it's usually with trap. However, the rabbis forbade even trapping creatures that are not commonly brought into captivity. For example, flies and mice. So mice, we don't trap, but we don't actively trap. So if the trap is there, like for example, yeah, so we just leave it be. Okay. But you cannot do anything to the mice. That's the thing. Okay. So even if it got caught in a trap, unless it stopped smelling terribly, and then you have no choice, but otherwise it would not be allowed to. There are many forbidden methods of trapping. Some of the common ones are trapping with a net. Right, so as we said, the fish or the deer, right, and birds, also with the B, are covering the insects with a cup, or covering a cup containing an insect. So that's very interesting. So about net, we got it, right? Covering the insect with a cup, like overturn the cup. And also, it's very interesting, right? I like for example, like if you had some sweet beverage, let's say tea with honey, let's say, right? And you finish, right? And you have what is it? The bee went inside. So let's say empty cup. So you would not be allowed to cover the cup. Okay. 1 second. The roller cup containing this. 1 second. Containing insects, and C, lying down a trap containing either spring or adhesive. So I guess for roaches, spring it's for mice or something. This adhesive for roaches surface. Okay. D, enclosing animal in a pen. So meaning that's the problem. That's the problem, right? So you cannot let your cow walk around and then close in a pen. That would be a problem. So we have a few students actually. They're farmers. They're in different countries. They have farms. Okay, so it's very, very applicable. In general, any act that severely restricts the creature's freedom of movement, even if it does not immobilize the creature, falls in category of trapping. So, of course, we're going to go into like practical, not too many practical examples, but we're going to like create some. Okay, so one more time. In general, any act that severely restricts the creature's freedom of the movement. So meaning what, that if you have a fly and you close your living room, so like your bedroom, so that's fly does not feel to like it was restricted on something. So if you close the fly and it's between the screen and your window, yeah, that would be trapping. So you would not be allowed to close the window if you like stuff like that, if you have a situation like that. But right, so because it's a big room, there is no problem. But if you close your dog, for example, or whatever you have in that room, so and yeah, it could be trapping. Okay. So 1 second. Freedom movement. Okay, so even so, that's exactly what we said. But I'm going to read one more time. Even if it does not immobilize the creature, so it's not like immobilizing it like we put it in a net in a cage in a cage. No, just close the room. Okay, immobilize the free falls in the category of trapping. It is permitted to capture animal or insect in order to prevent it from inflicting injury or severe pain. Right? I don't know, like snake or something. You're allowed to kill. If you know that it is a poisonous snake and you cannot get rid of it, you're afraid, yeah, you're allowed to kill. Right? Okay. See below section 4 for discussion of how to deal with the dangerous and bothersome insects. Oh, okay, so we're going to get to it. Right, but many just bothersome insects you just can shoo away. So you're not obligated, like you're not allowed to kill them in most of the cases. Okay. Do we have any questions on what we said about trapping?
Rabbi?
Yes, trapping.
Said in regards to trapping or killing a mosquito.
Mm-hmm.
Since here it says, however, one should not kill an insect that is merely bothersome, like a mosquito.
Mm-hmm.
If the person is not technically allergic to the bite of a mosquito, but it will cause him like extreme, discomfort in many ways. Perhaps the person would even scratch himself and cause some bleeding eventually. So are we allowed to kill a mosquito in this case?
No, in this case, it's not. First of all, there is no guarantee that it's going to cause irritation. For example, I many times experience a mosquito bite, but only one of them would be would be itchy. So and then look at my hand, for example, I see there are 5 of them. Right, or only one is itching. So it's not that there is no guarantee that it's going to happen, and you can always try to shoo it away. Like we would open the window, take a towel and something, and try to get rid of it. Right. I don't know if I said I had this experience just a few weeks ago. I'm sitting learning on Shabbos, and I see a helicopter in my living room. Like, what happened? And it was like huge bee that woke up. It probably was in one of the plants. So we put the plants outside for summer. Then in winter we bring them in, and the bee got inside the pot, the earth in a pot, and then I woke up because of the worms. I don't know what happened, so I let it out. I opened the door and let it out. What can I do? I cannot live in my house. Okay, is it going to die? Most likely, it's going to die. Understand? But anyway, it's indirectly. right? Even if it's going to die, it's indirectly, first of all, and it's dangerous in the house because it's in this confinement. Okay, what else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question. Shalom Rav. If one has an indoor cat, meaning that he never goes outdoor, is he allowed to leave the cat indoors during Shabbos?
Yes, there is no problem. I mean, the problem would be to restrict the movement of the cat. So if cat feels like it's captured or something, so it gets annoyed. So yeah, that's would be the problem. But if it can go from room to room, and that would not be a problem. Or you close some doors, like he can go in from this room, but other doors you close, for example. It would not be a trapping. Okay. You're welcome. There's a different problem with the cat. So all of the pets, it's not our topic, but just want to say. So they're muktzeh, right? So you're not allowed to pet your pet. You're not allowed to pet your pet. Touch basically on Shabbos and Yom Tov. So one of the reasons because some hair can come out. So maybe it's like they already fell out, but maybe yes, maybe no. So we don't touch them. Okay, and plus when some people hug their cats or dogs, and if dog wants to get out, for example, right? So I mean you trap it, right? But it's muktzeh. We try not to touch them. So that's the problem. The biggest problem is to walk the dogs on Shabbos. Okay. What else?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, in regards to this, my understanding of trapping a domestic animal was that if the animal would be like obedient, it would be considered as if it was like in a constant trapping itself. So these animals that would not go away, we kind of get closer or whatever. Are these allowed to be locked up in rooms during Shabbos or?
Yes, yeah. So if it feels fine, it's like you close in one room, and it has the mind his own business, sleeps there. I don't know, plays with its toys. I don't know, like two animals, like two dogs or two cats. I mean, they having fun. So it's not trapping. So only when they like aggravated, they want to get out, then it's trapping. Right. And plus, so it's there is no specific specific definition, but it's the space. So for example, we have a smaller room, right? So for example, in the room that I'm right now, if I close here like fly, it can fly like, or a mosquito is no problem. But maybe big dog or a cat, so it would be like feel intimidated. So you would try to go out, and that would be trapping. So it depends on the space and attitude of the pet.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. So for example, the bird is like bird cage, of course. Bird like to fly everywhere. Like cat can go here, can go there, can get sleep, stand up, like jump here, jump there. So for them, it's not a problem to be in one room. But for a bird to be in this small cage, for sure it's trapping. For sure. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question, if one notices a bug or wild pest / rodent go into a room on Shabbos or Yom Tov, are we allowed to close the door? What if someone has a bug or rodent infestation?
Infestation is a problem. So if it, if it went to a room to just to close the door. I mean, if bug goes, if in front of the bug close the door so it would not get in, it would be one thing. But to close it in the room, I don't think if it's a bug or something like or a rodent like that that it actually feels like if it's big room, it's not intimidating. It goes, it would go around. So it's not trapping actually. It's a bigger room, right? But like put something like put a shoe box on top of it, yeah, that would be a problem. Okay. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So he casting upon infestation, I don't know, like infestation of ants. What should a person do in this case?
I mean, like in infestation, like in my mind, like the way I see it, did not start on Shabbos. It started before. So a person had to be prepare for that and do whatever needs to be done like before Shabbos. So and since the person got used to this, as I understand, so there is not such a big deal, right? So not allowed to trap them, unless, as we said, there is a danger, life danger or something.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question, Shalom for the life. If there is a large roach really bothering us in our room on Shabbos, and we cannot stop thinking about it, are we allowed to kill it?
I would say just take, if it's possible, to take a broom and take it out of the room somewhere. And sometimes I know exactly what you're talking about. So sometimes you know what we have here for a water box. So water box, it's like huge box like this, like roach, but 7 times bigger or 10 times bigger. So and it's very fast. So sometimes you just catch it. I mean, like I don't know, like they go from under the ground. It's not like roach that attracted to the dirt. No, they just come from under the ground, from I don't know, from sewer system. I don't know, from somewhere, right? So you can take it with a broom and take it out, like out. But don't put it in a toilet. That's another issue, right? So you're not allowed to, like you call it, you're not allowed to put it in a toilet and then flush. So put it in a toilet, it's trapping. It cannot get out, right? Because it's in the water. And flush is a killing. So if you need to go to the bathroom, right, that's a different story. So for human dignity, yes, you're allowed to flush, but to do it intentionally, not allowed.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. See, I completely forgot about this case. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so Shalom for the love. On Shabbos, if a kid wants to go out and play and the parents refuse, is this considered trapping on Shabbos?
No, there is no trapping with children. I mean, with people. There's no problem.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question, Shalom for the life. Before Yom Tov or Shabbos, can we put a chemical or physical substance which will slaughter the insects if they encounter the substance, and then have insects trapped by these substances on Shabbos or Yom Tov so that they are slaughtered if they try to enter our area?
Yeah, that's what we do. Yes. So there is some, what is it? This adhesive tapes for flies, right? So all these things, whatever you did before Shabbos, there is no problem. You're not actively doing anything to trap them on Shabbos. Yes, no problem. And just to add to this, it's a very good point. Even some repellent, there is no problem to apply, at least on Yom Tov. On Shabbos, is it any problem? Maybe also no problem. I mean, I'm just thinking. I don't see any problem because it's not going to kill, just going to repel. That's a different story, right? So that's what we do in our sukkah. Right, we spray around because, of course, there are many places for them to enter, right? And sometimes you drink sweet wine or something, they get attracted, or you drink lemonade or something like tea, or with like a lemon with honey or something. Yeah, these bees get attracted. Yeah. So you're allowed to spray a repellent, not sometimes when you spray this repellent on the bug itself, it's going to kill it, of course, because it's too much, of course. So you're not allowed to spray it directly on them.
Okay. Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. It's a very good question.
Next question, Chol HaMoed. Is it forbidden to have an aquarium or a pond for this problem of trapping the animals during Yom Tov or Shabbos?
No, there's no problem whatsoever, because you're not taking them out, you're not catching them. Right, so they continue swimming. They stay in the aquarium or a pond. There is no problem whatsoever. So the problem only when you do something, some activity on that day. That's the issue. So even this example that we gave, this bird in a cage, so that's for sure it's trapped, for sure. So it's a tiny, not such a small bird, but the cage is not too big. So right, but if you don't open the thing, right? So the door, so it is when it is trapped, there is no problem. It's not considered that you trapped it on Shabbos. It was trapped before Shabbos, which is no problem. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.